Hi everyone, and thank you for tuning in. In this video, I'm going to look at two long-term stocks that you could buy in October and hold forever. This means you can just buy these stocks and forget about them. Just leave them in your portfolio and let them sit there for decades and decades, and maybe even pass them along to the next generation. These are businesses that are probably going to thrive and endure for maybe another century or more. And so let's look at these two stocks that I'm highlighting that you can buy in October. Let's get right into that. The first one I'm going to highlight is the Walt Disney Company. And of course, this is a well-known company with over a century of delighting fans with wholesome entertainment. So it's got a long history. It's got a well-established fan base. Grandparents that went to Disneyland or Disney World take their kids to Disneyland and Disney World, and then take their grandkids, and for generations and generations. So they built up a history of customers that have had an excellent experience and are taking back their kids and their kids' kids, and this might continue for several generations more. It's got another reason that you can buy this stock and hold it forever is because it's got enduring intellectual property that's difficult to replicate or difficult to copy. Think of Mickey Mouse, think of Marvel with Iron Man and Thor and the Hulk and all of those characters that are extremely popular and difficult to replicate. And so another company can't just come in and make a movie about Hulk. So only Disney can do that. And it's proven to be popular. You know, the latest Marvel films, the latest one was Thor Love and Thunder, generated 750 million at the box office. Then it went on to its streaming platform Disney Plus and probably attracted several hundred thousand to a million or more customers to subscribe there. And there it, Thor is featured in several areas along Disneyland's Marvel Adventure area and in other parts of the theme park. It sells a lot of its the merchandise, the Thor hammer, maybe the Thor costume for Halloween that's upcoming. So this intellectual property is extremely valuable, and it's long enduring. I mean, Mickey Mouse has been around for I don't know how long, longer than I can remember. And it just keeps driving revenue and profits for the business, and that's probably going to continue for the next several decades. Nobody's got a hold on that market the way that Disney does, and it's going to be difficult for any competitor to come in and encroach on that business. It's also recovering from the devastations of the pandemic. You know, Disney relies on a lot of its revenue in bringing large groups of people together in person. So obviously, it was going to be devastated with the pandemic that required us to stay away from people. And so its revenues crashed, its profits crashed, and it's now just rebounding from those devastations, but it's actually arguably recovering stronger than ever. It made improvements to the theme park, enhancing digital items that makes it less expensive to operate and gives the company more data. For instance, there's now a digital reservation system. You cannot just buy a ticket and go to the park on the same day. You have to reserve a date for when you're going to go to the theme park. That gives management insight into customer demand for its theme parks. It can look out 1, 2, 3, 4 months ahead and look at what customer demand is like for its theme parks. And if it sees a gap somewhere, it can offer a promotion, or it can flex its flexible pricing policy. So during the weekdays it might charge you $129 for a ticket. On the weekends it's $179. During the most popular days of the year it could be $199, and it could flex those pricing policies depending on the level of reservations that it sees for the next month and 3 months and 6 months. And so that enhancement will make the business more profitable to operate. And already in the first 3 quarters of 2022, the operating income from its theme park segment is higher than it was before the pandemic in 2019, in just 3 quarters of the year. So it's already proving to be more profitable than it was before the pandemic. And so for the next several decades, it's going to have a step up in profitability from these enhancements that management made at the time the park was shut down. And you're also able to buy Disney at its cheapest valuation in a decade right now. It's trading at a price to sales ratio of 2.2. And if you look back here at the chart, you have rarely been able to buy it at a lower price looking back in the previous decade. It hasn't been cheaper than this. While its prospects are excellent going forward as consumers unleash that pent-up demand for away-from-home experiences, at that same time, it's selling at its cheapest valuation in a decade. So it's no wonder that Walt Disney Company is one of my favorite stocks that you could buy in October and hold forever. Just put it in your portfolio and let it sit there for decades. You don't have to worry about a company like Disney. The next stock that I'm going to recommend to buy in October and hold forever is Home Depot. It has an enduring business that has proven its viability against the online threat to brick and mortar retail stores. You know, Amazon over this last 2 decades has just pounced on several brick and mortar retailers and put several of them out of business because it's just made it more convenient to shop online instead of going to the store. But one of the businesses that it wasn't able to penetrate and encroach on was Home Depot. And that was a significant boost to its long-term viability, the fact that it proved itself against Amazon. And one of the reasons why Amazon cannot penetrate Home Depot's customer base is because of the types of products it sells. You buy, when you go to Home Depot, you buy things like maybe a 20 by 4 piece of plywood that you're going to load onto your truck. This is difficult for Amazon to deliver efficiently, right? The item itself might cost $30 and it might cost more for Amazon to ship it than it costs total. And so that's a difficult item to sell online. It's the one that is primed to continue selling at a brick and mortar location, which is Home Depot. Another type of item it sells is things that you need in an instant. If your toilet gets backed up and you need to go get a plunger, or you need to get a toilet snake to take out, maybe your kid flushed a um, a, a stuffed doll down the toilet and now it's plugged up your toilet and you need to get that out. You need to go to Home Depot and get that item immediately. You can't wait for 2 or 3 days for Amazon to deliver it. And so for that reason, it's endured against Amazon. Another benefit is that the home improvement industry is worth $900 billion and climbing. So Home Depot operates in a massive business that's only growing, a massive industry that's only growing, which helps because if there's new entrants into the industry, it can enter into that space and they're not competing for the same customers, right? There's 900 billion in sales that's twirling in this system, and so there isn't a fierce battle to capture every dollar of sales. That's good news for investors. Those are the type of industries investors want to invest in. People will always need a place to live. Homes will always need repair, and no one has served this market better than Home Depot. Up to this point, there hasn't been a company that has served the home improvement market better than Home Depot, and so you can expect that outperformance to continue for the next few years, the next few decades, and maybe 50, 60 years. And, that's the kind of company you want to buy and hold for the long term. And like Disney, you can buy Home Depot at arguably its cheapest valuation in the last decade. It's trading at a price to earnings of 17.16. You've only been able to buy it cheaper than this during a brief moment at the onset of the pandemic. Very briefly, it bounced down to this level and quickly bounced back up. So if you ignored this moment, this blip in time, you haven't been able to buy Home Depot at a cheaper valuation. And so you have this excellent business with long-term viability that's endured against tough competition and is likely to survive for the next few decades in an industry that's not going anywhere, right? We're going to live in homes. That's an industry that's not going to be disrupted, and we're gonna all of a sudden not live in homes anymore and we're going to live in cars, right? That's unrealistic. That's not going to happen. We're going to live in homes. These homes are going to need repair. Home Depot is the most common place we're going to go to, and Home Depot is going to benefit from that. So there you have it, my top 2 stocks that you can buy in October and hold forever: Home Depot and the Walt Disney Company. Let me know what you think of my recommendations in the comments down below. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video or next time in another installment of a video like this. Thanks for watching. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. The Motley Fool is a company that provides investing insight and stock recommendations for all investors of all skill sets and risk levels. So I'm proud to partner with the Motley Fool to bring you 10 stock picks from their popular product, Stock Advisor. Stock Advisor has beaten the market by more than 3 times. Go to fool.com/parkev to get your 10 stock picks now.